Snacks.
What's happening, everybody? Lotus Snacks here for another Lotus Snacks Weekly. Two of us are here right now. Gage is working on getting in, having some behind-the-scenes difficulty right now.
Hey, Wayne Tech, y'all. You know how I go.
Yeah, Wayne Tech likes to strike, and it seems like hopefully it's not one of those days that's about to happen. How's everybody doing out there? Jokes.
Yes, sir.
Before we get started and start running down what we're going to be talking about, go ahead and let's throw those beacon links up in the chat for everybody to see.
Surely do. Boom.
There we go, everybody. All right, we got the beacon links going. And while he has done that, let me go ahead and do my job, which is shouting out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
What up, Cuddy?
What up, Cuddy? How you doing? Our bad about not giving you the heads up about the Rumble this past weekend, brother. Our bad. Hey, Mama, how you doing? But yeah, so as we wait for Gage to get his setup corrected. Par for the course, you know it's gonna happen. They got to build up the hype, So she's got to take some L's here and there before.
What's up, Heather?
What's up, Heather?
Yeah, that is actually on the docket for us to actually have a little conversation about.
Yeah, so I say let's go ahead. Let's discuss the Rumble now. Because we know Gage doesn't want to talk about wrestling.
Of course not.
while he gets the situation straight and gets in here. So go ahead and take it away, Jokes.
All right. So for those of y'all that aren't familiar, this past weekend, WWE had one of the big shows of the year, the Royal Rumble. I imagine even if you don't watch wrestling, the Royal Rumble is probably one of those type of events that you're at least familiar or know how it works if you're not inclined to wrestling. Overall, I'm going to say it was pretty solid. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Actually, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because of the fillers in the middle almost didn't need to be there. I felt like this just could have been 2 Rumbles and we would have been fine. Because the Rumble matches themselves, both the men and the women's, absolutely amazing. I do think the women's match was ever so slightly better.
Ever so.
Okay,
go ahead.
There's a little more there, but ever so slightly. I'm sorry. The women's match was definitely the Rumble of the night. From standout moments to just overall, like women's match did the whole entire thing. Sin, how do you feel?
Yeah, the women's Royal Rumble was the highlight of the night. It was, like you said, full of highlights. Having Jordan Grace. Speaking of Jordan Grace, let me tell you how a surreal moment this Royal Rumble was for me since getting back into wrestling. This is the first time I've been watching, whether it's been AEW or WWE, and I'm seeing people from other promotions show up, and I know who they are already. Like I knew who Jordan Grace was when she came out. I knew Andrade when he came out. That was hype. Like, oh, my man's back to WWE. Like, this is the first time all around with everybody that showed up. I highlight Naomi, like you said. Like, I already knew of them and knew of the possibilities of them coming over and all that type of stuff. Jay Cargill. So it was just great all around, just from my perspective, actually seeing it from that lens and going into it. Ratings wise,
definitely.
They did.
No, this is definite.
Yeah. Sad to say, but the Roman match was a bathroom break. I mean, particularly because we knew play for play what exactly was going to happen in that match, and that is play for play how it panned out. So it was nothing exciting to watch because you already knew, like there was no surprises with it, no switch, nothing. The placement was off with that and the KO and Logan Paul match. I don't get why they went before the Royal Rumble instead of Roman. I don't get the thought process behind it, but okay, still it was okay. The men's got better closer we got to the end. I would say, even like R-Truth stole the show in both. Whether it was the men's or the women's, he was in both of them. And
oh my god,
dude is great.
R-Truth is a national treasure, and he must be protected at all costs.
Yeah, I'm on board with everybody with that right now. He is the funniest thing smoking right now. It's so great to watch. But yeah, overall, I'm at like a 7.5. Could be talked to an 8 overall. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Moment of the night for you, Sam.
Barely winning the Rumble. I think hands down that was because I struggle with my prediction. Like Becky or I really struggle because I love Bayley so much. But I was looking at the story, and we still after Monday Night Raw, we still may get the story that I'm talking about that's going to happen, which I'm thinking it is going to happen. But Bayley definitely like. Knowing how hard she's worked, seeing her take all these L's, all these months, even Triple H afterwards put it like helping getting other people over, say being that kind of workhorse to help other people and stuff like that. She's taking the L's a lot lately. And she's one of the 4 horsemen of like NXT. Like, so it's good to see. She's never won the Royal Rumble before, so this is great. She got to have that moment. That was absolutely awesome. I was super happy for her.
Dig it. Hey, listen, Triple H, he said his piece about the door, and he doesn't want to refer to it as being the forbidden door. I like the way he handled that because he did not just want to take the Tony Khan forbidden door thing. But definitely he talked about, had an opportunity to have Jordan Grace come over. Like in the previous year, we had Mickie James when she was the knockout champion. Yeah,
that was amazing. Yeah, that was
whoever got that picture, that was probably one of the best that's one of those history things that in like another 10 years somehow you look back on that, you're gonna have to remember it.
That's exactly why I made it my banner today. I was like, no, that is too great a picture.
But definitely Bayley is absolutely one of the highlights. I gotta say, Jade Cargill, for the moments that they had her debut, we finally got her debut in the Rumble. She did do a couple of things. I don't think she did anything over the top or anything like that. Like picking up Nia Jax and making that joint look so effortless. Beautiful. And I thought her making it to the end, those who've been on the role, putting people over, glad Bayley won. Yes, that was one thing. Triple H did specifically say that Bayley is sometimes overlooked because of the fact she is the type that wants to help push and motivate others and get them into that light in themselves. I mean, Damage Control, honestly, is a perfect example of that.
100%.
I think Damage Control is a perfect example of that. And whether she ends up getting thrown out or somehow they can work things out, I don't know how that's going to look in the next few weeks, but I have a feeling it's going to go far left. But yeah, Jade Cargill, solid debut to come in and just to do what she did she was probably in like 15, 20 minutes probably. Something she was like in that last, she was in like the last chunk of it.
That last leg of it, yeah.
And I thought she did pretty well for that piece of it. You talked about Jordan Grace. Hey, listen, when she came in, she absolutely owned whoever was in that ring. And I thought she did an amazing job, especially there was a lot of people. You could tell the audience was a little mixed. There was a lot of people, you could hear the cheers that knew who she was, but there were some people that were kind of don't watch TNA, so they're not familiar with her. But I thought that, of course, is more good exposure for TNAs. With the whole going back to the branding, Jade,
I've been thinking about this one myself.
I'm gonna be honest, probably Raw.
That's where I'm leaning.
Probably Raw.
What's your reasoning for Raw?
So I automatically assumed, and it looks like I'm probably right. I was for sure Naomi was going to end up going to SmackDown, which is looking like that's what's going to be in the cards for her. And I'd rather not overstack that side just yet. But at the same time, the potential of seeing her versus Rhea, even if it's not necessarily a championship match just yet, but it could be one of those that Jade shows up. You know what? She just wants to go for the biggest and the baddest thing. I can see Jade going and having that type of match for it. I think there's more of those challenges right now, probably on Raw, especially to see her also be able to square off against Bianca, because that stole the night when they were in the ring. The two of them, I forget who it was that both of them had lifted up above their heads.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember either. Yeah,
but the two of them, when I tell you everybody got up out their seats, the reception for that moment, because folks want to see Jade versus Bianca. Like outside of the ring, we know they're actually good friends. We've seen them take pictures with each other. I know this is a match that a lot of people would love to see. I gotta give it up for the women. Like,
yeah, the Naomi's return was also really, really high for me. That was really great seeing like just the response she got, the pop she got. People love her so much, and even when she got in the room, even Natalia taking a step back. They were the ones that started like, no, like soak, yeah, just let soak all this in. You're finally back home, like soak all this, and that was really good. And even her and Jordan Grace, since they just had a match the other week, and she lost the belt to her to Jordan.
To give y'all, give y'all an idea. Naomi came in she was 2. Natalia was number 1. Naomi was number 2, and then Jordan Grace came out at number 3.
No, Bayley was 3.
Bayley was 3? I
Bayley
thought
was 3.
Jordan was close to. She must have been like 5. She was like 4 or 5, maybe.
Hey, I know she put out everybody else. Yeah, because she was the third one they got there.
But to have them being able to come out, they had their moment, and there were people you could clearly tell that knew that little bit of history that they had together. Hey, the storytelling in the women's match was absolutely on point, and to start getting us set up for some other things. Don't get me wrong, men's did that too, but I thought the women's match did a little bit better. But we can switch right quick. How do you feel about Cody back-to-back Rumble wins, and do you want to see him versus Reigns or Rollins?
I want him to finish the story. So we don't have to go back to it. That's all we want, to finish the story. You versus Roman. That's what we want, Cody.
I was actually, I'm be honest, I'm be real. I didn't think he was going to win back-to-back. I really, furthest thing from my mind, I kind of figured he was going to go in, do really well, probably make it to the final 4, still somewhere in that mix. I didn't think he was going to come away with the victory, but with him winning that, once again, this puts his name in a bucket of superstars, legends, that a lot of people will not be in the same sentence mentioned together. There's only 3 other stars as of I know it's Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and Shawn Michaels, if I'm not mistaken. I may be missing one. But he is amongst them as being the only ones to win back-to-back Rumbles. I'm pretty sure it's just the 3 of them, though. And he makes the 4th.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. But I crazy part is when Cody and Seth was having that discussion last night on Raw, every single thing Seth said made so much sense. It really makes me want to see him face Seth. But just like Sin said, like for the sake of finishing the story that he started with Roman, I kind of want that to happen. Like,
because if he doesn't do it, we don't get past it. The story is defeating Roman Reigns for that specific belt. You know what I'm saying? That his family was never doing.
But just like Seth said, his father was the world heavyweight champion, which would make, well, the naming of it, it would make sense for him to actually take that belt. But the story, it pushes him to go through Roman.
Yes, go through Roman and circle back around at some point when you trade brands or whatever and go after Seth. Like, Roman is the focus right now. That is what the people want. We didn't get it last year. Couldn't finish the story. We've been detoured by Brock and Shinsuke and whoever else throughout the year. Now we're back here again. Let us finish the story. Give Cody Roman and let him get the belt up off of him. That is what we want.
Hey, Cuddy said, I didn't pray on it like Drew, but I'm glad Punk didn't win. Hey, listen.
I'm with you 100%.
Hey, listen, that that was so like, hey, bruh, you really hate this dude out here.
Yeah, that was disrespectful. That was disrespectful, 100%. But no, overall it was a good time. We had a great time getting together and watching it. That was fun times.
It was.
All right, so let's move on to what's going on with the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, which is dropping this week. If you pre-order it, you have access to it now to,
the deluxe edition. The
right,
deluxe edition. Not the regular edition.
No, you got to shell out that money for the deluxe edition. And you get to play it before the game drops Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem is, apparently there was a terrible glitch in the game where once you boot up the game and get started in it, it immediately shows you the end game. It just jumps right to the end and shows you how the game ends. And it's been causing an uproar. They had to pull the servers last night so that they can get the bug fixed. So people missed out on like a day of actually being able to play the game for early access. It is a complete mess. So that is not helping on top of the fact that previews about the game, people are kind of iffy on it. Is that the best way you would put it, jokes? Like they're not sure about the gameplay and how it plays. There's been questions about the like battle pass kind of method, like the always online stuff, like Marvel's Avengers was. So this type of bad press is not helping whatsoever. What are your thoughts on it right now, jokes?
So I started watching before we got in. I started watching a review from let's just see what's this dude. His name's Dreamcast Guy. He's got a pretty solid following on YouTube. He has well over 200,000 followers. He went ahead, got the game early, started playing through it. He played about 6 hours into it, and honestly, his whole response was just he hates it. It is just like a traditional looter shooter, as he liked to describe it. But the biggest issue is just how repetitive the game at least is as of right now. Like, he was like, you face the same like 4 or 5 bosses per se in trying to, accomplish a task. Like, I think one of them is like you have to collect certain items or whatever and then bring them to this location to drop it off, and like that's the end of the mission. And it's just a lot of that repetition that you just keep doing over and over again for it. I'm gonna watch some more impressions, like, because at the point, I know you and Gage said you were gonna wait until a little bit more of the reviews, because I was almost at the point of pulling the trigger on it. But then after I started watching that review and heard the other things, I was like,
well, the thing is with the reviews, apparently,
the actual, like, your big company,
people aren't getting theirs until Friday when the game actually launches. They're not sending them out until then. And apparently with IGN, they're not getting their copy till like next week. Apparently, possibly because of how they've talked down about the game or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, so actual reviews won't probably start hitting until next week, once all the outlets get their copies on Friday and have the weekend to go through it and play it. And we can look at it again next week, because it is something that I was looking forward to playing. But seeing is more so just err on the side of caution at this point. It's getting too much. I don't believe when I know how I play my games. I know how I like my games. I know what I can tolerate, what I can't, all that kind of stuff. So I have to actually look down and see what people are complaining about with it to see if it's something that would deter me from playing it. You know what I mean? But still, with too much bad press, rather just take a step back, let the dust settle, see how the reviews are coming, and see how they play out before I make a decision whether I want to pay full price. Do I wait for Game Pass? Catch it on sale at some point, just
because I'm pretty sure this would be something in Game Pass. But it's like, but what's really, really concerning about the whole entire thing is when the game was first originally announced, and we got our first like little bit of gameplay view and everything, everybody ripped it like the moment it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up delaying the release of the game to go back in and essentially redo the mechanics of the game. And it looks like at this point we're going to have this game come out and we're kind of still in that same place, even though we went in and overhauled stuff in it. So that's super concerning that we've had like a whole nother opportunity to go in and potentially fix and make these things a little bit better. And not to say, repetition necessarily isn't a bad thing if done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like, obviously it's a looter, if you're not either getting better gear or whatever it may be, like you said, the battle pass is pretty much all cosmetic from the understanding piece of it. I don't know if I care. Like, I do like to be, we all like to go in and change the appearance of our characters and stuff like that. I don't know if just that is going to entice me more enough to buy the battle pass, if anything. Now
they got to be fire skins. They got to
fire
be
skins.
Yeah, gotta be fire skins.
Now, if it's somehow it's going to be a while, but if it went to Game Pass, maybe then I'd be a little enticed to actually buy the battle pass. But I don't think we'll see this show up in Game Pass, at least at the minimum for like a year, if anything.
It depends on sales and how it's received when it actually comes out on Friday. That'll this weekend will determine how soon. Yeah, pretty much. How soon we see Game Pass.
It's kind of looking like that. It's a little bit different, but that's the fear. It's that this is literally going to turn into the Square Enix, because this is a games for service type thing. So like this one is always online. And that was the issue. Even though you were playing the story and you got the end of the story, they had to completely pull the servers down because that was the only way to not allow you to really get into play.
Yeah, and that's one of the things people were complaining about yesterday. Like, if we could play it offline, then we wouldn't have to worry about getting the ending spoiled and all that type of crap. Like, it's just a whole mess right now.
Yeah,
a whole complete mess.
So
even though I'm still looking forward to playing it. I've already seen the Joker in the game. That's my dude. I want to run around with his umbrella doing all this cool looking stuff. But
problem is, you ain't gonna get the Joker probably until after the main story, if I'm not, or at least close to the end of it, because he's not one of the main characters. Yeah,
he's the first DLC character. So I'm gonna have to wait some time for it anyway. I'm just hoping that the game is. I'm hoping that it's solid enough so that I can get in with friends and have a good time playing this game. That's what I'm hoping.
Because like right now, it's like, hey, listen, I give y'all props that like the DLC and stuff. What's up, Zach?
What up, Zach?
Like the DLC and stuff is gonna be free, at least for this initial. Like they say, there's not gonna be like any paid other than the battle pass. I just hope that if they can get things right with this, I just hope that is going to be enough to sustain this game. Otherwise, we could potentially be looking at another Avengers, which honestly, Avengers had all the potential to be super incredible. I know we got in, we played, we enjoyed it, but then we ran into that block where it literally was just the same repetition over and over. You had the game breaking glitch.
Oh yeah, where I couldn't finish the game. My story was damaged until they put out an update. Update's coming.
And that took a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
if anything. Mm-hmm. So I hope they can do some resolution to figure some things out. Because when these reviews start hitting the Friday into next week with the big, like your IGNs and stuff like that, if they start ripping this, it's not looking good for.
What are they going to have to do if it comes out? If it comes out and the stuff is iffy, the reviews are iffy. What are they going to have to do to bring people back or get people in to try it out?
I don't know quite yet. They're going to have to do a lot. Like gameplay, for the most part, seems like it's really repetition on there. Hold on one second, because that is. They're gonna have to do something about the repetition. Like I guess eventually they'll start throwing in more potential bosses or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, there's got to be a clear roadmap for this. Because as of right now, I don't think they've addressed any roadmap, anything is going future other than the battle pass.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see how much we're looking at actually sustaining this game, because as of now, it's looking a little shaky. I think adding extra characters and stuff is good. So having that variation of different, like you said, adding the Joker, these other ones, I just need to know how you're going to be able to use those DLC characters in, like, are they going to have like their own stories, or are they just going to be like, hey, go back and play the story using the Joker? Like, because I don't know how many times I'm going to be wanting to go back through the story again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know necessarily how that will work, especially with all of these characters intertwined into the actual story. I don't think you could add in someone and just say, hey, go back and play the story as the Joker. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm thinking, yeah, we need to see the roadmap that they have, and whatever issues they have that people find when it launches Friday,
Mm.
they need to address them very quickly. Get those patches out as soon as possible to get everything smoothly, and I think they need to ramp up a little bit on whatever their end game content is to keep people in and keep people, coming back. Because that's going to be the end game content, but we don't know what that is just yet until people actually get their copies and we can find out. But whatever that is, probably ramp up on those timelines to get some of the other characters, the other Suicide Squad members like the Joker that they plan on releasing, have them probably drop a little bit sooner, so it's more fresh, I would say, because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, with the repetitiveness that people are claiming that it has, it can make people fall away real quick. But if you
Mm-hmm.
keep new ideas and new things, new missions, new raids, or whatever, all the type of stuff coming, it can keep people in a lot longer, especially if it has a great loot system. And like you can get
Mm-hmm.
some real like dope
Hey, listen,
cosmetics or weapons and all that kind of stuff. If
I'm
the loot
about the
system is
looting.
right,
I'm
yeah.
about the loot. Like, Destiny has groomed me to being a looter type of person. And damn it, like, if they can get that right, that will make me feel a little bit better. But hold up, this funny. Andrew was like, if it has the Riddler, I might buy it.
Riddler on the Suicide Squad, I can see Killer Croc.
And listen, there's Riddler. I saw at least at one point the story is based in Metropolis, but for some reason there's a building in Metropolis that has like the Riddler's question mark going all the way up the side of it, is like on top of the building.
Well,
So I don't know.
go find Riddler trophies. It is
Listen,
Rocksteady.
we ain't doing that. We are not going to find Riddler trophies. You can have that. Yeah.
So outside of the Joker, what other members of the Suicide Squad would you like to see added in as DLC?
I would say they need to go outside of the box. Oh, hey, Gage just messaged me, and he said there are Riddler trophies. Oh God.
Oh, great.
Oh
Yeah.
God. No, I don't.
Look, if we all get in and play together, if somebody catches the trophy and we all get credit for it, you can have that, buddy.
Hey, listen, if we can all get credit for finding the one, then cool. But if we each find it, you can
not happening.
You can have that. But I feel like they have to go outside of the box, maybe use some characters that obviously some people may not be familiar with, but maybe let's say from like Batman, Superman, like everybody else's team. So like let's say maybe like from a Batman, we have like a Clayface or something like that. I think he could be an interesting mix on there. Andrew, it wouldn't surprise me if Peacemaker would be into it, but that one I feel like will be a little bit of a stretch because I don't think they would be able to pull John Cena to be able to do it potentially.
And we already got him in Mortal Kombat, so I don't need Peacemaker in another game.
But then you go to like others, like say if Wonder Woman, like having like Cheetah or someone like that. I feel like you have to pull some of those other type of characters, maybe that we don't. Mirror Master. We're gonna start pulling from Flash's Rogue Gallery.
Sportsmaster's a beast. He cheesy, but he a beast. Mirror Master, no, not him. No, Captain Cold.
Hey, listen,
I can see a Captain Cold being added. I can see a Killer Croc being added.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do we have?
Let's go through everyone else rogue. So Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, Black Manta. But I don't see Black Manta being on a Suicide Squad.
Not on the Suicide Squad. No.
I feel like he would give Amanda Waller some crap to try to even pull something like that. I'm trying to think who else would fit the bill in there.
Weasel. No.
Yeah, you know what? You probably onto something. They may do like a DLC that from like the Suicide Squad movie and put some of those characters. So like from the last joint, there's tons of characters they can pull from the opening cinematic, even though 80% of them didn't make it. So that could be interesting. But that would be one way to try to keep some people in, at least if like say some of these villains are people's favorite characters.
Ooh.
Now that is a good one.
Yes, it is.
Solomon Grundy.
That is a good one.
That's a good one. I mean, technically, I don't think he could die, so I feel like he doesn't really have anything that he has to worry about. So maybe that's a good thing.
Was it Bronze Tiger?
Yeah, it could.
Suicide Squad's weak anyway. That's the point.
Hey, when they've done right, they could probably be a threat, but I don't know. Right now, I don't think there's a character that they would announce that would just immediately make me say, "Oh, I gotta buy Suicide Squad." I don't think I have a character in that realm that would just do it for me like that.
I can feel that. See, they already got Harley and Joker for me, so like I'm
Lobo
on the Suicide Squad though.
I don't think Lobo would go for it. I know my man's crazy, but
I don't got him for the Suicide Squad though. He's a little bit, he fights Superman. Like Suicide Squad, low brow.
Hey, listen, if they'd asked him to be a part of this one to kill the Justice League, I think Lobo would jump in if he had the opportunity to actually kill Superman. I think he would definitely jump in on it. You ain't putting no explosive device in my man's head, but I think he'd do it.
Just off the strength, like, take care of that? And he just would. Okay. Ooh, no, that's another one. I was thinking Swamp Thing. I'm about to say, he's not either. Nah. Even though he'd probably be fun in that game to play with.
Swamp Thing would be, listen, he'd be OP.
Exactly.
He'd be too OP.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Nah, I can't go with Swamp Thing. Nah. All right. So let's get on to, even though you haven't played it yet, Tekken 8. Tekken 8 just released this week. We have been anticipating this for a very long time. The fighting game community has been anticipating this for a very, very long time. Teasing us each week or so with the new characters dropping and showing a little bit of what they're about. I know Gage got it a few days before me. He's been playing a lot longer than I have. I bought mine and have been playing it today since I got in from work. I've had a chance to. Let me just start here. It looks great, and it feels great. It feels and just looks like what you expect from a new edition down the line. Like it just feels really good. I ran through the arcade mode with Jin Kazama. Just all right, let me try it out. Look how it feels. I like it really feels like an arcade when I'm playing. As far as like the scale of the characters, like on the screen, like it just feels like they're in my face. If you know what I'm saying, like they don't feel like small halfway down the side. They're like full screen almost. Like it just looks and just feels real good when I'm playing it. I ran through the arcade mode. That was cool. I like the fact that it seems like just fighting, you just gain money in the game that you can go spend on the cosmetics. You don't have to be playing like ranked matches or anything like that against other people to earn the in-game currency to go buy new jackets and hats and shirts and all that kind of stuff. And you can change all the outfits that the people are wearing. You can change. You can make up like to 4 of them. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, listen, I've been seeing people going and changing outfits and making them look like anime and all these other characters out there. That the customization seems like it's pretty dope.
What about
within
Fonzo?
The game? What's good?
I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been seeing the same thing, like on TikTok, just the characters that people are making. So I haven't got a chance. Like I said, I just was dabbing with it. Haven't had time to mess with it much yet. But like I said, I like the fact that the money you get doesn't seem like it'll be too far fetched as far as you want to try to unlock all the cosmetics and stuff like that. And it seems like every time you beat like a seems like the story modes, because I ran through three of the characters, like their little quick little story modes, which is confusing. They have a story mode, and then the main story mode, then the character story modes that are the same but different. I ran through a couple of character ones because it seemed to be the easiest way to do it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that ain't happening, bro. That's just a dream at this point. That's just a dream. Yeah. But I also ran through they're like community hub kind of thing where you go in and you can walk to the store and go sit down in the arcades. Connection felt really good. Like it wasn't like stuttering or lagging or anything like that. Even though I probably won't be messing with that feature as much. I'll try it out just to see. But I just wanted to walk around and see if the connectivity was good. You get to create a little avatar. It seems like you can make a few of them and just walk around. You can go to the store and buy new clothes for your characters. You can go play Tekken Ball, which is using. I tried that out. I used the beach ball, but there's 4 different ones you can pick. I guess they're heavier, and you just have to hit the ball back and forth over line to attack your opponent. And it got intense. I was expecting that to get as intense as it was. I was like, okay, this could be kind of fun. This is interesting. That was pretty cool. The intro is fire. They still have the CG character endings when you beat the arcade, not the arcade, but the character story. They give you like the full CG endings, which is something I've always loved with Tekken. And one thing I do appreciate is something that Yakuza does in a lot of their games because it's such a long running history with the story. You can go back and see the story like these little shadow artistic little panels, like they're kind of cool looking, but you can go through Tekken 1 all the way through Tekken 7 and kind of just recap the high points of the story.
I did do that in the demo because like I told you guys, like I didn't get into Tekken probably until maybe like midway through, probably like 5 maybe than anything else. So to kind of get that little bit, even though it was really just a little bit of a story synopsis, just to kind of get you like, hey, this was the main part of part 1. Here's the main part, and you just kind of saw how each one connected to each other as you went through. I thought that was pretty cool that they at least included that in the demo as well too. I think I am gonna get Tekken. Like you know how typically how I operate. Like I like online like competition type of stuff.
Oh, it's here.
I'm probably gonna do that. Because right now, like the money was teeting, I was like, okay, the Suicide Squad. I was like, you're kind of falling out of me wanting to actually buy this right now. So I may do the Tekken in the meantime. Because there's a lot of stuff that's coming out just solely in these next few weeks alone.
A few weeks. I think I got to this weekend, and I'm already done with Yakuza franchise. I'm behind 3 of those games. And I'm literally at the end. I know this is a stupid break. I on my face. All right. I'm literally at the end finally of Lost Judgment. Like I was trying to finish it. I'm literally in the final. It's the final chapter. I did the whole court scene last night. And now I gotta go. Now I gotta leave court. Don't take off the lawyer badge and go outside and whoop somebody. So I got it saved right there. So depending on what time we wrap up tonight, I might play that. I'll probably go back into Tekken because there's so many new characters I want to try out and play as, but I didn't touch any of them just yet. I messed with Kuma. I messed with Panda. I messed with Yoshimitsu. Never been a Yoshimitsu fan, but I might have to dabble a little bit in part 8 because some of them combos I was getting off like, okay, you might be fun. But I'm looking forward to running through the entire roster and seeing what everybody's, updated moves they have, new little swagger they have thrown into them and all that kind of stuff. I'm disappointed because I went around looking for Bob and he's not there. And I need Bob. That's my guy. So hopefully
DLC.
Right. They gave Eddie is going to be DLC.
Oh, you already know you're going to open your wallet. Like your
I need Bob. Bob, ever since they put Big Boy Bob in there, he's become one of my stable characters, dog. Like he is Sammo Hung. Like he is an absolute beast and he's so unexpected because he's so big and round. But he's agile as hell. And he
meant every word of that. He meant every word of that. I don't like coming in like right. Oh, that's how much.
Let me go back out.
That's just gauge know how much of a problem that Bob was, man.
Yeah, because he's big and round.
Bob like that, but you don't have to describe him that way.
Oh man, Andrew said Yoshimitsu has been his main since day one.
If you don't get that spinning acrobatic, like he's almost
not to jump in and jump. Yep, that Warren.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, nah, listen, you know what? I feel Yoshimitsu. Only reason why I don't play with Yoshimitsu is because I feel like he's a character from another game. Because he is.
He is a game.
And so it's like cheating almost. You know what I mean? Like I don't play with Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur though. So like, I don't know why. Like, and let me tell you something. This Tekken is the best Tekken since Tekken 3. Period. Ooh. Like, period. I've been playing Tekken for 30 years.
It's only missing one thing, but
Tag.
Yep, that's it. Hey,
that's
bro, if they had tag in this.
DLC.
Never. They won't do it. Because they, for whatever reason, they save it for like completely separate games.
Yeah, 2 separate games, yeah.
Which is stupid. But jokes, listen, man. If you decide you're gonna do Tekken, I just want you to get prepared.
Okay.
There is no rabbit hole like the rabbit hole that's Tekken. I need you to understand that, like.
So what you're saying is it's perfect for me. It's a rabbit hole that I'm gonna go.
That's why I'm telling you, like.
Hey, let
I
you
play all the. I play fight like this is like Sin and I play. If you put a fighting game in front of us, we'd play that joint. Like I would play anything that pits two people against each other. Like I come from that era, dog. Play fighter, I played that joint. All of them joints. like we would play
all them B level Temco fighting joints.
Bro, listen. Art of Fighting, Ninja Turtles fighting. I mean, not Power Rangers fighting jokes, but like you know what I mean. Like we played these joints, right? Like the art, timing, and intricacy of like counting frames, knowing when you can and can't pull something off, what escapes what moves are invulnerable to what. Like
my brain before we got here was going back into Tekken mode, just playing like all that stuff we just said, like boom boom, wait a second, boom boom boom, like just I was like, okay, I'm feeling it out again, getting back into it.
This is what I'm gonna tell you, jokes. Like timing is a thing in all games, but in Tekken, the timing is the game. It's like, yes, in like a Street Fighter, there's a clear like, oh, somebody throws a fireball, you block. You know what I mean, within a certain period of time, or if you do a dragon punch right as the fireball is coming to you, you're gonna go through it or whatever, right? Because it's invulnerable, right? Like we're not talking about that. We're talking about like almost every character has a 10-hit combo or multiple 10-hit combos, right? And to pull them off, it's not just like, oh, look at the buttons and press the buttons in order. That's not how it works. You have to hit them in the right timing signature. Like it's timing.
Boom, boom.
And
boom.
Once you
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, like
you switching them up, yeah.
And the thing, listen, when you go into practice mode, it's not like, oh my God, I nailed the 10 hit. It's, oh my God, I nailed the first 4 of the 10 hit. Oh, snap. Now I got the first 5 of the 10 hit.
You talking about frustrating?
6 and 7.
Go in there and try to learn a 10-hit combo and you struggling and then watch the computer do it. You're gonna be like, how? When you first start trying.
But it's not about watching them do it. It's about listening to them do it. Because they specifically, when you go into the training and you learn the combos, not just the 10-hit combo, any combo, any set of button combinations in that pull off any move, they don't just show you the button presses. the button presses make sounds because you're learning the timing of the combinations. And once you start down that rabbit hole, bruh, like when you pick a character and you're like, all right, let me try pulling off like part of their 10 hit. I'm telling you, dog, it's gonna change your life. And it took me 3 days to like really Jose, Brian Turner got snowed in one summer. One like snowed in the summer. That'd be terrible. We got snowed in for like 4 days, 5 days, and the only games we had on PlayStation 1 were Tekken 1 and Loaded. We beat Loaded, I don't even know how many times. Yeah. Like, it's a 2-player game. We got so good at that joint, somebody just wasn't playing for like an hour and a half or whatever. Like, we was running that joint up and down. Tekken, we played with every character, opened every character, learned almost every move, and like one or two of us would start to get really, really good with one or two characters. And once that happened, it was like, all right, well, we gotta learn how to take that person out. Like, they have to go. So that's
you do the jokes method. You can pick their character and use them against them.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We know how to play fighting games. You go, you get somebody and you learn their weaknesses. You learn how to use any character against any character. Like, that's just how it is. Hence why Sin hates me and doubts him. Just
that's because that's when I learned that every character is good in the right person's hands.
100%.
That's why I learned that. Yep.
100%.
He was nothing but trash to me before that day. That corrected my whole viewpoint after that.
It's it. I'm gonna tell you something. Like jokes for real. There's nothing like it. Like going in to the training and like in this joint specifically, I honestly think this is the best Tekken for a new person to jump into ever. Like, they have like, I don't recommend doing it, but they do have kind of like how they've had in Street Fighter, where like in the new Street Fighter, where you can just set it to kind of like an easy mode where it will just kind of pull off combinations and stuff for you.
That's the stuff I can go back and look at because it was telling me that, but I was like, all right, yeah, like I got to start playing.
No, I turned it off because like the demo asks if you want to do that at a point when you get to it, and I was like, no. Like, here's
what I'll say though, because this game has so many characters that you start with. Like, you start with 32 characters in this game, right? It's a lot. Like, it is a lot to like soak in, and once you begin to understand how the timing works, like how the button presses work, you can play with any character, but it does mean almost like unlearning all of the intricacies of one particular character so you can learn the intricacies of another. So for instance, like if you just want to be able to go through and finish like story mode, they have a main story mode, like Sin said, right? There's a story mode that follows what the story, the real story of Tekken is. But just like all fighting games like used to have, every character also has their own ending. So basically, you can play with any character, you can play their story mode and get that person's ending, and it basically is telling you what would have happened if they had won the tournament. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Basically what it is. And here's the thing I love about those. They're only 5 matches.
Yep.
So you're not playing through
that's how it was so easy
15, 20, 30 some odd people or whatever to get to it. You're just playing through 5 people, and everybody's is specific. So like usually the first person you fight will be somebody that has something to do with them story-wise, and at least the last person you fight has something to do with them story-wise, right? But you're only dealing with 5 people. But if you just want to get through them and see all the endings, you could turn that mode on and be like, you know what? I'm not really trying to learn Yoshimitsu. I'm not really trying to learn Jack 10. Let me just put the easy thing on so I can pull some stuff off and beat, you know what I mean? And maybe even as opposed to putting it on easy, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and playing through it. Over time, you're gonna have favorites, and you'll learn how to get really, really good and pull off your favorite moves with them, and then somebody will come along that'll be like, don't ever use that move again.
Right.
Somebody will learn how to exploit it, and that, you know what I mean? And that's just, but that's how fighting games work. And this joint is like, there is no other fighting game where like I enjoy the depth of just sitting in training mode.
Mhm.
Like just
Getting it in.
running in training mode, like learning to pull. I pulled something off like 2 days ago. Had
Ain't
no
bad.
idea how I did it. Like I was practicing something else, pulled off something and was like, oh, we're gonna figure out how that happened. So what did I do? I literally went into their like their move set
Mhm.
and played every move,
Until you
every
saw
single move, and watched every move until I saw it. And once I saw it, let me tell you how that joint is so ingrained, jokes, that if you ever be in that character, it's happening to you. Like it just like it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And once I get comfortable doing it, like in the middle of a match, I
Mhm.
won't even care anymore. That's when it's like you just kind of know all of the stuff and you can pull it off. But there are certain characters again that I've been playing for so long.
Mhm.
Paul Phoenix, King, Ling Xiaoyu. Like I've been running with them for so long that like a lot of their stuff I just know and know how to pull off. In this, the timing and what it feels like to hit somebody
Mhm.
in this game is better than anything else that's out. It's like, and again, like I know you like 2D fighters better than 3D, but you got to remember that Tekken, honestly, really all 3D fighters are technically 2D fighters.
Mhm.
Tekken is a little bit more of a 2D fighter than it is a 3D fighter. It just gives you the ability to sidestep to one side or the other.
Mhm.
But it's not like it's like every character
Mhm.
has a move they can only pull off like while they're sidestepping,
Mhm.
right? But
Them things be
that
clutch.
but it could be a sidestep and the two punch buttons together
Mhm.
is executes a special grab. It could be a sidestep and just like literally, if you just think about again how complicated the move set can be. So again, you're left punch, left kick, right kick. That's
Mhm.
all you have, right? But when you hold left punch and left kick together, that's a
Mhm.
throw. Right punch and right kick together is a different throw. If you do a throw from the side of the character, that's a different from their right side, that's a different throw. If you do it from their left side, that's a different throw. If you
Yep.
do it from behind them, that's a different throw. Sometimes if you're crouching and you do a grab while you're standing up, that's a different throw. If like some of it is like a double tap forward, both buttons, that's a different throw. And then you start talking about, well, I have left punch, I have forward and left punch, I have down forward and left punch, I have forward and left punch, I got back and then left punch versus back holding back and pressing left punch. All different joints. All do something different.
Yep. Completely different moves.
And you still only hit one button. You know what I mean? Like you haven't we ain't even talking about left right yet.
Woo.
Left right, left right. Like it's not even like
I'm out there giving them judo chops.
listen, it's jokes. There's nothing that even comes close in like a 2D fighter because so much of that is like.
And to keep it a buck, Tekken's one of my comfort food games that I keep my comfort food list. For some reason, I don't know why it's always been out of all the fighters that I play and love, Tekken is the one thing that I could, just like you said, just put it in. I can run through arcade mode real quick and just feel good. Just bing, bing, bing,
Because
bing.
it feels so good to land. When you land attacks in Tekken, it feels better than it does in every other game, and I have played them all. I love Virtual Fighter.
Mhm.
I'm a beast in Virtual Fighter. Wait, I was a beast in Virtual Fighter. Like, we ain't going like, Virtual Fighter, toe ball number 1. Like what you want? What you want to do?
Toe ball was hey, I saw somebody on TikTok bring a bouncer the other day. Somebody brought up and somebody stitched it like, I've been waiting for somebody to talk about the bouncer. I was like,
I know. The bouncer like that. Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, that's one of the best. I mean, again, Tobal, Airgeist, those are both Square Enix fighters.
Yep.
The Konami code almost is a Tekken move, though. Like
for real.
Like to be honest, man, listen, I wish I could like articulate for you what the button combinations are that are just second nature for me. That just like, but Sin will tell you, if you put me in the joint and you give me King, if I grab you, if I get my paws on you,
and let me tell you something, Jokes. That's not the person I refuse to fight him with. Like, he get Paul? Nah, bro. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that headache.
King is the one that I was going to probably try. Just obviously the whole wrestling thing, it was probably going to be the one that I was going to try to main the most. But like you said, I'm going to go through and at least play a little bit with each person. I'm going to probably get like maybe like 5 of them that I'll probably.
Let me tell you right now. Bayek, that's you. Brian Fury, that's you. Paul, you probably not. Paul's super basic. But Brian Fury is basic and hits hard.
He's on, bruh. Brian Fury is a monster in that joint, and he's always been.
I think you would like Bayek because Bayek is almost all kicks. He's a beast. So, sorry, not Bayek. Hwarang, Brian Fury. There's a part of me that feels like you might like Nina, but she's slightly complicated. She has multi-grab moves, kind of like King does. So if you do try King so here's the thing about King.
I'm thinking about trying to learn her.
Not only does King hits hard, bro. Like King hits stupid hard. Like you don't even like it. Forget like I said, like if I grab you, I can generally if I get you once, I can eat your entire bar. Like I can eat your life bar. Like not even like it's not even a game. Hey, Jeff said been a long time fan of Brian Fury. Jokes for you on King. Listen, King is better than Armor King. There's no Armor King in this joint. You don't have to worry about it. King is tough. If you want to learn how to use King, dog, holler at me. I got you, dog. Like, it's not even a joke. Like I'm talking like I'm doing everything. Boston Crabs, spinning pile drivers, like I'm in there. Like if I like it's not even a joke. If I hit you, I'm like 24, 26 button presses in on you.
I just ran through a beat both of their stories, just trying them out.
Hey, look,
and Paul's is serious.
They're slow,
short
but they
legs.
have moves that are very fast, and they hit
dumb hard,
bro. They hit hard, bro. Hard. Like Brian Fury is fast, super strong, and has a lot of moves that like knock you across the screen. You have to you got where like I like Ling Xiaoyu is not strong at all, but she's very unorthodox. Her moves come from all over the place, and so I like her because she's much more difficult to telegraph in terms of like what kind of stuff she can pull off. Paul is just like you can telegraph every single move Paul Phoenix will do. However, if you slip and I catch you,
ready to go night.
You going night. It's you know what I mean? Like it just and they got like new like Oscar.
Yeah, I'm dying to learn.
Beast. She's a beast.
Them three. I want to learn Oscar just because the storyline tied around her. I do want to learn her. But the coffee girl and old John Wick or Alfred or whatever, like Slim from France, I need to learn them too. Yeah. I need to learn them too.
Yeah. Asasina, I haven't really played with yet, but I like her moveset. I'm not super big on characters that have like I don't want to say she's heavy, but one of the main things about her is that she has a lot of counters. So like she has moves that she can set up where she counters you. I'm not super big on that because you have to anticipate ahead of time. It's not the same thing as blocking. It's not, and it doesn't work like in my head when I think counters. It always takes me to dead or alive, and it's just not gonna work like that. But if you play a Street Fighter and you run with like Rose is all counters and being prepared to like throw stuff back at you or whatever. I'll learn her, but it's not gonna be first. Like she's gonna be down the line. Asuka I like because I like Jun Kazama. Like I learned her in Tekken 2 and Tekken 1, and a lot of Asuka's moveset is exactly the same as hers, but she hits harder, like way harder.
Do they have like a Michelle or Julia? Like, is there
neither one of them are in it?
And those were the ones, my youngest that I had down. My 10 head combo was with them.
So neither of them or the five, like Gandryu's not in it.
Yep.
And neither Michelle or Julia are in it. But again, they're probably DLC characters. Like
probably, yeah.
Eddie and Christy are both not in it. But I'm glad they put, I almost called them
like
Blade.
Christy too.
Raven's back in it.
Yeah.
Raven's back in it. Raven's a monster. You know what, Jokes? That's your guy.
That's my guy.
I'm going to call it right now. Just look for the Batman that look like Blade.
Yeah.
The silver, I know who you're talking about.
So that's how when I go out there to go play, I need to make him my opponent just so I can get used to fighting. Just so I can get used to fighting Blade.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Jokes. I runs with Slim too, and his 10 hits are pretty solid. Again, like once you learn a 10 hit, Paul has an easy 10 hit that like you can kind of just stand and do it. Asuka's 10 hits. She has 3, all 3 of which you have to start from a crouching position, and then you come up, and it takes a double button, like a 2-button press to start them. Once you get them, and that rhythm starts hitting, her joints are pretty solid.
I'm interested in Sergey too. I might try him around this time around.
Sergey is like I do like his look. I could never get into him.
Yeah,
but you know. Again, he's knowing he's there. Like in this joint, I'm just like, I'm about to get back into mastering multiple characters. Like I thought the first thing I was gonna have to do was jump in and like reacclimate myself to King. Jumped into this joint and immediately it was like 1996 all over again, bro. I was like, oh. We ready to go. Yeah, this joint is kind of crazy. You know what, Andrew? I
don't want them.
I don't think they're gonna do so. I mean, like they've done, like they had Noctis from Final Fantasy.
They had Negan.
It would not surprise, and they did like Akuma, which is cool. Just probably the closest thing you're gonna get to Tekken Cross Street Fighter. I know you asked about that. You know, Akuma is technically canon in the Tekken story. I would not be surprised. Last joint had like Geese Howard from King of Fighters. So I mean they did do guest characters from other games. So it wouldn't completely surprise me to see a couple people pop up, but like who they're gonna be, I think it's really, really hard. I think it's really hard to say.
I would love to have Kiryu in it, but I know that'll never happen because the creator won't let it happen.
Well, so I try to think across like Bandai Namco properties first, because they haven't really done that. Most of what they've done have been cross promotions with other companies. So they've done it with Square. You know, they could do it.
They could easily take some of them characters out of Elden Ring and probably put in this zone.
That would be more for Soul Calibur or something, I'm thinking.
You think?
Well, I mean, again, like I wouldn't be opposed to them pulling a Mitsurugi or something like that in if they were going to do it, since, again, Yoshimitsu has always been in Tekken. But I just think it's a time period thing more than anything else. I feel like they would try to make it more, like Geese Howard just kind of made sense because he's a boss. Like Heihachi's a boss. Heihachi's not even in this.
He's dead now.
Yeah. We'll see how long that lasts.
Right. Yeah.
But like
we've been down this road before.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with Akuma. Akuma is a boss character, and like Hachi's thing has always been like, I want to fight the most powerful. I want the devil gene, whatever. Here's what I'll tell you. I think that of the mainline fighting games, we're talking Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Those are your main fighters, period. Tekken is the most anime. It's an
1,000%.
1,000%. The stuff they do, the silly ass storylines, the
it could have a fire ass anime if it was done right by Shonen Jump and just
they've tried. It hasn't been right at all, but
it's so much there to put. Yeah,
the story itself is super anime. I would actually like to see them maybe lean into that and maybe pull an anime character or two in as DLC. So if they were going to do it, who would you want to see?
We talking like hands? Well, you know what? Baki would make sense, maybe.
You ain't wrong.
Baki would probably make the most sense out of anybody that I could think of.
I mean, Baki's father would probably make more sense, but
him too.
Hey, listen, I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
Mash from Mashal. Mash from Mashal. Who else? Oh, my man, name floats me just yet, but Solo Leveling.
Hey, look, they can't put him in Soon Yu or what. They can't put him in yet. He's gotta wait until the anime's done. Because otherwise that's gonna spoil anything if they pull it from like the manga and put his character in it.
We'll know by end of season 1, I feel. We'll know by end of season 1.
I don't think we will.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Andrew. I'm not sure. And to be honest with you, I think with 32 characters already in and the characters that they have left on the table that are Tekken characters, I'm honest with you. I'd probably be fine if they just keep adding characters that are already Tekken characters.
What's the character's name? That she's like a president from Poland or something like that does karate. They added her in last time around as DLC.
You said she was Polish?
I think so.
All right, so
she was like a diplomat,
not Eliza. Yeah, you're gonna have to look it up because they.
Hey, bro, you gotta turn your brightness down. I don't know. Every time you go to that zone, you need to put that zone in dark mode.
I know it needs to be on dark mode. Yeah. Lydia Sobieska.
Oh,
Prime Minister of Poland. Yeah.
I didn't really play with her, but yeah, she had the all white, right?
Like the red tank top, but the gi was like tied up on the bottom of the pants. Yeah. I wanted.
She reminded me of Hitomi from Dead or Alive.
That's exactly why I wanted to get to know her, but since she's not in this yet, hopefully DLC.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, you don't have Julia, you don't have Michelle, you don't have Gandryu, you don't have Hachi, you don't have Eddie. We know he's the first, you know what I mean, DLC character. You don't have Christy. They used to do like Tiger. And Eddie used to be like basically palette swaps, you know what I mean? But they eventually made Tiger his own character, sort of, at one point. But just going through and looking at, like, if you run through the character list and just look at their styles, they just made up. Like some of them. I mean, there are real styles in there, but it just be like the Kazama fighting style, the Mishima fighting style, right? And then it'll be like very superior, like Mishima fighting style. Like it don't even be like, and I just be like, you know what? That's right. Like Slim. I mean, it might have said hard. Jokes. I don't even know. I don't care what fighting game you play. No fighting game has harder hits than Tekken. No joint. No joint.
When that camera zoom in, it'd be a wrap.
Slim, listen. They have moments in this joint where, like, you pull a move off, especially like if it's like not a counter, but like if the timing is just right, and like as somebody's getting ready to hit you, you catch them first. That joint will do a slow-mo cut.
The zoom in
I think
with the angle.
Oh my
Your joke's been fire.
I be getting out of my seat, bro. I be like, I want this.
And look, and then you start chasing them down automatically. Like, I'm gonna go get you, bro.
It's terrible. Yeah, this joint it's crack. It's crack jokes, and you probably not gonna like it, and that's gonna be my favorite thing about this. That you're just gonna be like, man, I don't know. It just doesn't. Let me tell you something. Come to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Let's spend 6 hours. 6 hours. Just training mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even joking, dog. 6 hours. Straight training mode.
Man.
Any character you want, we'll go. Listen, we'll get some crown chicken and waffles.
Whoa, pause, man. I was gonna say pause. I gotta be able to concentrate. I can't be able to concentrate.
Listen, I'm just telling you, it's not like it's because again, this joint also just takes me like this is like side by side with a person
and go through.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. We could learn. We would know exactly what a person's doing. We could hear their button clicks. You would just know. You know their timing. You know exactly what they're doing. You don't have to look. You close your eyes and like block a full 10 hit because you could hear it. It's just so bad. And I'm gonna tell you, like the muscle memory is it remembers. It's slower than it used to be, but it remembers. Like
as soon as I opened up my Tekken and started playing it, my hands went right to the position with the fingers over top.
Claw mode, let's go. Claw mode, bro. Listen, Joe, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you don't play claw mode,
listen, Dragon Ball Fighters made me switch and start playing like that because
it ain't.
I didn't even realize. I didn't realize I did it.
So, it's real. Only play your fighting games in claw mode, dog. Like, you can play some Street Fighter in
Street Fighter. I can play normally. That's fine for me.
This Street Fighter, you can play thumbs out.
Yeah,
however,
thumbs out.
But here's the thing. It depends on what kind of control, like, and what version of Street Fighter it is, because the OG, like Street Fighter 2 through Hyper Fighting Turbo, that 6-button layout was crucial to it. And you need some extra special tactics to hit. In some of those joints, you actually needed to use like all 3 punch buttons, and they're not together. You got to be able to claw across both punches and pull a trigger at the same time. Not sweet. But Jokes, I'm glad you bought that joint. Highly recommend.
Oh, it's completely downloaded while we were sitting here.
Yeah, let's just make it worth your while. You know what I'm saying? Like,
find your characters.
Yeah, let's line up. I'm dead. Like, seriously, pick like 4. Don't go beyond that.
Yeah,
pick 4, and then like try to get solid at like 2. Mess around with the other ones. You just want backups. You don't want like get solid at 2 of them. Get backups with 2 more, and then once you do that, you'll start to have such a good understanding of like how it works that you can kind of bounce to other people and start to understand how they work. And once that happens, when you look at the move sets, you'll see that basically there's a lot of like, to pull this move off, you have to do this move first. So it'll say like, let's say a move is called the Sweet Sunset or whatever. I don't know where that came from. You got a move called Sweet Sunset.
That's a wrestling move.
Oh, he hit the Sweet Sunset.
But it'll be like, you'll see another move, whatever that move is called, and it'll say like following Sweet Sunset or during Sweet Sunset. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And then there might be another move that you have to pull off during that joint. And some of them you can pull off from any other joint. So like with King, hey dog, I don't even like King has moves. He has moves that he can pull off. Like if you get to the second throw, like, and he has series, right? So you get to like the second throw. From that second throw, you can do like 3 other moves. And if you pull off one of those moves, you can move from that into like another set of 3 different moves. And from that, you can move into another. Like it's stupid.
I dig it.
It's stupid. It's stupid. Look at this.
That little roll crap he does when he gets you that one joint, he just rolls in a circle, just draining your health.
Roll you around,
just
bro,
constantly,
and just take all your health. I don't usually do that one. Usually I end in the giant swing, but it just depends. That joint's tough, bro. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
I need to put my
Sin.
Yeah.
You want to shut the show down?
You know what? Yeah, because I know we probably want to jump on some Tekken, and
9:47. It's a little late.
I got some characters I would like to maybe touch a little bit before I go to sleep.
Yeah. Hey, I would like to know, for anybody who's watching, I just want to know if anybody feels like Greta Gerwig and or Margot Robbie got snubbed for the Oscars. I'd like to know. I'll tell you now, I don't think so. And I'm having a lot of issues with what I'm seeing online around it. Seeing a lot of posts that are like Ryan Gosling getting an Oscar nod, but the two of them not getting an Oscar nod is exactly what Barbie is about. And I'm like, that doesn't, not really. It's not really what it's about. But I will tell you that of the movies that I have seen that were nominated in the categories that they would have been nominated for, I think those nominees are better nominees. I think they are better choices than Greta. I don't even think Oppenheimer and Barbie are in the same conversation. I just don't. I don't think Killers of the Flower Moon and Barbie are in the same conversation in terms of directing. Like, I just don't think that they're even close to being the same thing. However, I think Barbie was a great movie. And I think Margot Robbie did a fantastic job. But I also think that if you compare her to the other actresses that are on the best leading actress role, I think all of them did a better job than she did. And I think that it, like, to say that she got snubbed for an award that only other women can get is to say that all of those other women were not as good as like Ryan Gosling. You know what I'm saying? Is basically what you're saying. Like, because you're upset that Ryan Gosling got it for Barbie. I'm not saying that Ryan Gosling. Now, would I agree or disagree that Ryan Gosling for playing Ken belongs in the same run as the other people, as the other men that are up? Probably not. Which is also why I don't think he's gonna win. But we'll see how it turns out as far as the awards go, and we'll circle back and have the discussion about snubs and not snubs after we see who the winners are. That
fair enough?
Let's do it.
I think that's what we'll do. Jokes, you got a job to do.
Yes, sir.
Jokes taking care of that job. Making sure that you all know the best ways to follow us. Again, there's a lot of activity coming up over the next few months. Let's just say. KatsuCon. Jokes, what's our date and time for the panel for KatsuCon?
Write that jump down.
17th at 5?
5, yeah, it was like 5 to 6:30, and I think it was live 6, if I remember right.
That sounds right.
Yep.
Try not to hold it against us. We had our approval for our panel for Awesome Con, but just got our dates and times and so forth for confirmation for that. We will have some great guests joining us for our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel at Awesome Con. We do have Penny and Jerry Gaylord joining us for that. I did reach out to Jerry today. We already talked about it, but again, at the time when we talked about it, we didn't have a date and time yet.
Got it now.
But we have it now, and I've already shared that information with him. So again, that's coming up March 9th. 3:30 to 4:15.
That's it. Actually have a room 207B.
Okay.
So that's coming up. ChromaCon coming up. Again, lots and lots happening. So yeah, just kind of keep your eyes peeled for some of what that is. We are planning some new panels. Looking to see if we can't get multiple panels at some of the conventions that we're going to.
You too, Andrew.
Andrew, thank you. You do the same. So yeah, working on that. Jokes has a new bi-weekly wrestling podcast. Within the Finisher podcast is officially a Finisher podcast now, and not just when it's time for a prediction show or something like that. So every couple weeks that's happening. First episode is recorded. And about ready to go. Jokes, spill the beans on that a little bit.
Yes, sir. So tomorrow, a little teaser will be dropping for Wrestle Wednesday. Little small sample will go to the masses. If you have Patreon is going to get the full discussion that me, Sen, and Marcus had. Couple different topics that we picked out. We each brought one to the table to have a discussion about. So you guys that don't subscribe to Patreon will get a small little taste of it. Everybody else will get that full-on conversation that we have with all of our topics for it.
Dig that. Sin. The thrill is on, buddy. What's happening in the park?
So the park, we're still running through Kakaguri season 1. This week we are doing episode 7 through 9. I know Jokes has to catch up on the last episode, episode 6. Yeah, so don't forget that, Jokes. Yeah, and we are sitting in a very demented game of Russian roulette at the moment.
Yeah.
And it is on 10 right now. It is up and it's stuck right now. We're all looking forward to what happens next. So join us in the Discord 9:30 p.m. on Thursdays. And sit back, watch it with us, discuss a little bit afterwards. Good times. So hopefully we'll see y'all there.
Dig it. Black History Month is almost upon us. So the next few weeks we'll be bringing some creators on during weekly to kind of, talk about them, who they are, what they do, where you can find them, follow them, purchase from them, and so forth. So keep your eyes peeled over the next month for that. It's also a leap year. We get an extra day.
February.
Everything else is going to be thrown off after the end of February by a single day this year. So be prepared. I think that's it. I think we're good. You know what I mean?
I'll throw one thing out. Send this will be for you and for the wrestling people still in the chat right now. Apparently Pro Wrestling Tees has been instructed to remove all of Okada's merchandise from the store.
Really? He sounds somewhere.
Oh, that only means one place if that is the case. Only one of the wrestling promotions will not want you to sell somebody else's merch on their platform.
WWE.
You got it. Triple H and Shawn Michaels look to have possibly snuck in and secured probably the biggest free agent.
If they did, that is a discussion. If they did, that's Crazy.
Sounds like a topic for the finisher. Yeah,
The
Joe.
Rainmaker. If he got that bag, it's a Rainmaker.
Oh, Triple H gonna be like, hey, listen, you can have all of them make your rain out here for it.
All right, y'all. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Get up out of here. We appreciate you all hanging out with us this evening. Means the world to us. Jokes, tell them what I need them to know.
Remember, y'all, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea.
With that, we're out. Toodles and loos.
Loading snacks.
Kyle at the WWE is in Google.
All right.